From wild monkeys right off your balcony to a world-class pool, this 5-star, all-inclusive resort in Costa Rica will blow you away. This is the Westin Reserva Conchal. It's inside a massive 2,400-acre jungle reserve with a beach. But because it's so unique, there are some big mistakes that could ruin your vacation if you're not prepared. Nowhere mentioned that before we came. The thing that separates this resort from any other one I've ever visited is the monkeys. But don't make the mistake of thinking these are some kind of tame pet monkeys. These are wild animals. There are troops of wild howler monkeys that live right here at the resort. Now, the resort works hard to maintain the natural habitat for them, and that includes a big surprise about the hotel rooms too. I saw monkeys probably 100 times during my stay. They're in the trees at the pool, the trees outside your hotel room, but they get much braver after sunset. So don't be surprised if they start strolling down the pathways with you, like they run the place, which, to be fair, they basically do. The Westin Costa Rica is located on one of the most famous beaches in the country, Playa Conchal. It's named that because it's literally a beach made of crushed shells. Now, this is not a bad thing, so hear me out. Before I visited, people acted like these shells would shred your feet like they're glass. But in reality, they're crushed so fine, it's like sand. The real mistake is assuming this is a private beach. It's not. It's a public beach. And as soon as you step foot on the sand, the vendors will come for you. The main hustle out here is beach massages. Every single vendor has their own color-coded tent. It's a whole thing, and trust me, they're going to find you. People also sell things like horseback riding and boat tours and fishing tours. I would not recommend booking a fishing tour like this though. Those kinds of high-ticket items are probably best to book before your trip and with a reputable company you can see the reviews of, not from a stranger you just met on the beach. The hotel has about 400 rooms, but they're very spread out into these bungalows. They had to do something pretty special when building the resort in order to preserve the natural habitat, which is make sure nothing is built taller than the trees. So the bungalows are all only 2 stories high. So if you're wondering, how do you see the ocean through the trees then? Well, you can't. Some of them do have a slice of the ocean in the distance. Ours has a lake and the golf course here behind me. So don't overpay too much for a room thinking you're going to have this oceanfront view. We're staying in a junior suite that has bunk beds. It's one of my favorite hotel room layouts I have ever seen for families. It feels huge when you're inside it. It has dedicated spaces for the kids. It has the living room, a sort of bedroom. It comes with a stocked fridge that's refilled daily as part of the all-inclusive too. To open the room, you'll need your wristband. Everyone gets one at check-in. These are your room keys, and it also signifies which tier you're booked in, like if you're staying at club level. This is one of the biggest pools in Central America. It's giant. Unlike other big hotels that might have 6 or 8 smaller pools spread out, they went all in on one main pool here. And it's really your only choice unless you're staying club level. This behemoth pool is the hub of the hotel. There's a swim-up bar. There's volleyball. There's islands in the middle of the pool. This is where everyone hangs out. And if there's an activity going on, it's probably happening right here. The pool here is huge and there's a lot going on right now. It's around 11 a.m. There's water polo, there's a workout class, there's music, all the bars are open. It's a really fun time to be at the pool right now. Now, if you're traveling without kids, you should know that staying club level gives you access to an adult-only pool. Okay, let's talk about the food, because the restaurant system here is extremely complicated for absolutely no good reason. Don't make the mistake of thinking you don't need dinner reservations because it's an all-inclusive. Now, there are some restaurants here that do require reservations and some that don't. And by a couple that do, I mean the good ones. You can make these reservations the day of on the app at exactly 8 a.m., starting on the day of your arrival, even if you haven't officially checked in yet. So you'll want to have that app downloaded ahead of time. Now, the big question is what happens on the day you arrive? Because to even log into the app and try to get reservations at 8 a.m., you have to enter your room number. But if you haven't checked in yet, you don't have a room number to log in with. Here's the secret workaround. When the Marriott Experiences app asks for your room number on the login, type your booking confirmation number in that box instead. Now, this trick doesn't work every time, but it did work perfectly for me, and I was able to log in with that and make a dinner reservation for our first night. Once you're in the app, you have some choices. Bamboo is the Asian fusion restaurant here, and it's the hardest to get reservation. But that's only because it has the least amount of tables, not because it's the best restaurant, okay? There's a big difference. The most popular spot for dinner, though, is the Italian restaurant. The pizza and the pasta are both so good. We loved everything we got here, and honestly, I wish we had just eaten here more often. So what happens if you don't get one of those sought-after dinner reservations? You go to Mitra Market, which is the buffet. But don't make the mistake of thinking this is low quality just because you didn't have to wake up at 8 a.m. to get a reservation for it. This is not the Golden Corral, okay? Do you hear those birds? They use a pager system for the different stations, which I love. I do not want to wait in a long line just to get some chicken. Someone at each station takes your order, gives you a pager, and then you hang out at your table until they buzz you. They have everything from traditional Costa Rican food to pizzas to steak and chicken and hamburgers. But the real hero of the dinner buffet is the crepe station. They will make one however you like, and my kids are obsessed. Where Mitra Market really shines, though, is at the breakfast buffet. Because it is top tier. And you know I'm a harsh breakfast buffet critic. They have a make-your-own mimosa station if you're so inclined. They have incredible Costa Rican coffee and fresh pastries, waffles, the whole thing. This is everything I hoped it would be and more. Because the resort is so spread out, there's a lot of walking. The mistake to avoid here is thinking you can just run back to your room real quick. If you're in a bungalow at one end of the resort, walking all the way to the pool will take a while. It's actually so far that there are golf carts driving around everywhere to take you. Every day, all the time. All the hotels inside the Reserva Conchal Ecological Reserve, including the Westin, have access to the nature trails. I was personally a bit underwhelmed by these trails. They aren't really anything special, and we almost got lost in one, so keep that in mind. If you want a true escape, book a treatment at the spa. I knew it would be nice, but I did not expect this. At a 5-star resort, you would expect the spa to be incredible, and it is. The best part of visiting the spa, though, is that it comes with access to the private spa pool. It's right in the middle of the jungle, but it's shaded. It's a magical experience. I could live here and never leave. But to reach this level of zen, you have to reach the actual resort first. Don't make the mistake of winging your transportation. Most people choose to book a private transfer from the airport. We actually drove ourselves in a rental car because we also spent time in La Fortuna. I have a whole video on the hot springs and how to see the sloths in La Fortuna if you want to check that one out next. But driving yourself in Costa Rica is not for the faint of heart. I would not recommend it as a first choice, but we lived. And a surprising perk of staying at the Westin is that parking at this 5-star hotel is free. We parked right by the entrance. A golf cart came and collected us and our luggage and drove us straight to the room. Now, this resort is a really special place and I'm obsessed with it. But the biggest mistake you can make is expecting a traditional all-inclusive like you'd find in Cancun. So make sure to consider things like there's no ocean views from the rooms. There aren't 8 different pools and bars. But part of what makes it so unique is that it's a true eco resort. It's clean energy and a carbon positive resort, meaning it actually removes more greenhouse gases than it even produces. That's an incredible achievement and extremely rare to find. Whether you're coming here to spend a week in the pool or to use it as a home base for all your adventures in Costa Rica, you will absolutely love this hotel. I have tons of other videos about Costa Rica, so be sure to check those out here.